You're sitting on the couch. Your dog walks over, doesn't ask for anything, doesn't do a trick. They just press their side against your leg and exhale slowly. You probably reach down and scratch their ear without thinking twice. That moment, that was your dog telling you something important, and most people never catch it. Dogs don't use grand gestures to show trust. They use small, quiet, easy-to-miss signals, the kind that happen a dozen times a day and get brushed off as nothing. This video is about learning to see them. Once you do, you'll realize your dog has been speaking to you all along. Most people assume that when their dog stares at them, the dog wants something: food, a walk, attention. And sometimes, yes, that's exactly what's happening. Dogs are excellent at lobbying for snacks. But there's a different kind of gaze that has nothing to do with wanting. It's slower, the eyes are relaxed, the lid slightly soft, the expression easy. Your dog isn't staring at you with intensity. They're just resting their eyes on you, the way you might look at someone you love while they're reading. In 2015, researchers published a study in the journal Science showing that when dogs and their owners share mutual eye contact, both experience a rise in oxytocin, the same bonding hormone involved in the connection between parents and infants. What's notable about this finding is that it wasn't just the owners who felt it. The dog's oxytocin levels rose too. That's not nothing. That's a physiological loop of attachment happening in real time. The soft gaze is your dog choosing to activate that loop with you. How to respond. You don't need to stare back with intensity. That can actually feel confrontational to a dog. Instead, meet their gaze softly, let your own face relax, and try a slow blink. Many dogs will mirror it. Some will yawn, which we'll get to in a moment. Here's one that gets misread constantly. Your dog leans their body weight against your legs, your hip, the side of the couch where you're sitting. Most owners either don't notice or they interpret it as the dog being clingy or even pushy. What it often is instead is your dog using you as an anchor. Dogs who feel safe with someone will use them physically as a point of calm. Think of it less like neediness and more like how you might lean against a trusted friend at the end of a long day. The body says what words can't. I feel steady near you. Some breeds are more prone to this than others. Labradors, boxers, and several of the herding breeds are known for being physically expressive in this way. But any dog who leans their full, relaxed weight against you is showing you something genuine. How to respond. Accept it quietly. You don't need to make a big deal of it. Just let them lean. Put a hand on them if it feels natural. The goal is simply not to push them away or react in a way that communicates their closeness is unwelcome. This one surprises people every time. You raise your voice slightly. You're not angry, maybe just animated, telling a story, cheering at the TV, having an energetic conversation. Your dog, who is lying nearby, lets out a long yawn. You think they're bored or tired. Dogs do yawn when they're sleepy, just like we do. But they also yawn as a calming signal, a term from canine behavior research used to describe the subtle ways dogs communicate emotional states and try to de-escalate tension. A yawn in a low-stress moment around someone they trust can be a sign of relaxation. In a higher energy moment, that same yawn can mean, I'm choosing to stay calm here. A dog who yawns around you without any of the stress signals, without whale eye, where you can see the whites of their eyes, without a tucked tail, without tension in the body, is often a dog who is settled, who feels safe enough to regulate. The important safety note: context matters enormously here. A yawn paired with a tucked tail, stiff, posture, whale eye, or lip licking is a different message entirely. That combination means the dog is uncomfortable and needs space, not reassurance. Learning to read the full picture, not just one signal, is what separates a confident dog owner from a nervous one. How to respond. When you catch a relaxed yawn from a settled dog, try yawning back. Dogs and humans frequently yawn in response to each other. It's one of the small, lovely ways our social instincts overlap. It often makes them yawn again. Every dog owner knows the dog who carries a toy to the door when they come home. Most people interpret this as the dog wanting to play. Sometimes that's true. But watch what happens next time. Does the dog immediately initiate a game, drop the toy at your feet and bark? Or do they just hold it, carry it around while you take off your shoes, bring it close, and then stay near you? For many dogs, bringing an object to someone they have bonded with is an expression of joy that doesn't have a clear behavioral goal. It's closer to the impulse a young child has to show you something they love, not because they want you to take it, but because you are the person they want to share with. Some dogs bring their most prized possession specifically to people they trust most. If your dog has a toy they guard carefully and they bring it to you, take notice. You're being included. How to respond. Don't grab the toy or turn it into a high-energy game unless they're clearly inviting that. Instead, acknowledge them warmly. Say their name. Crouch down to their level. Let them show you the thing they brought. The moment itself is the point. This is perhaps the quietest signal on this list, and the one people almost never notice. Your dog follows you through the house. You go to the kitchen, they come to the kitchen. You move to the bedroom, they settle in the doorway. You go to the bathroom, well, you know how that goes. But watch the doorway behavior specifically. A dog who trusts you completely will often stop at the threshold of a room and simply watch you settle. They're not anxious, they're not pacing, they check in, make sure you're there, that the environment is calm, and then they lower themselves to the floor right at the edge, present but not intrusive, nearby but not demanding. This is sometimes described in behavioral terms as proximity seeking, without pressure. The dog wants to be close to you, but they're also secure enough not to need to be on top of you. That combination, wanting nearness without anxiety driving it, is a hallmark of a dog who has genuinely learned to trust their person. How to respond. Acknowledge them when you notice this. You don't need to do anything dramatic. A soft look, their name said gently, or just the awareness that they're there. Dogs are acutely sensitive to being noticed. Being seen by you is often enough. Most people know that a belly-up dog looks relaxed. What fewer people realize is that there's a spectrum even within this signal, and the most meaningful version is easy to miss. Some dogs roll onto their backs because they've learned it gets them belly rubs. That's a trained, happy behavior. Nothing wrong with it, but it's a bit different from what we're talking about here. The sign of deeper trust is the dog who rolls onto their back, exposes their belly, and then simply stays there. Eyes soft, legs loose, no wiggling, no nudging your hand for more attention. Just resting in that completely open, completely vulnerable position in your presence without needing anything from you. The belly is the most exposed part of a dog's body. An animal who shows it to you without anxiety, without immediately wanting something in return, is communicating that they feel genuinely safe, not performing trust, inhabiting it. How to respond. You can absolutely give them gentle belly contact if they seem to want it, but you can also just let them be. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for a dog who is this settled is simply not disturb the moment. Reading signals in isolation is one thing. Here's what it looks like when the full picture comes together. Scenario 1, a guest arrives at your home. Someone new comes through the door. Your dog approaches, sniffs, then comes back and stands near you. They glance up at your face, then look back at the guest, then back at you again. This is your dog taking a social cue from you. They're checking, how do you feel about this person? Are you calm? Should they be? A dog who trusts you will often regulate their reaction to new people based on your emotional signal. If you're relaxed and welcoming, they're more likely to follow. This is trust operating in real time, your dog using you as their compass. Scenario 2. A child goes to hug the dog. You're in a family situation and a child moves toward your dog with arms wide open. Watch the dog's body before the hug lands. Are they moving toward the child, weight forward, tail in a loose wag? Or are they turning their head away, leaning back, yawning, or going still? The first set of signals is an invitation. The second is a polite request for space. Dogs are rarely given the chance to say no before a well-meaning hug arrives, which is why learning to read these pre-contact signals matters, especially around children. Keep this somewhere easy to find. Signs your dog is comfortable: loose, wiggly body, soft, relaxed eyes, mouth gently open, tail in a relaxed wag at mid-height, slow, even breathing, leaning toward you or the situation, ears in a neutral position, choosing to stay near you when they could leave signs. Your dog needs space, whale eye, whites visible, yawning paired with body tension, lip licking without food present, tail tucked or held very low, stiff, still posture, turning the head away, ears pinned back, trying to move away or hide. A dog who is showing you the comfort signs is a dog who feels safe. A dog who is showing you the stress signs is a dog asking you to help them feel safe. Both are acts of communication. Both deserve a response. What your dog has been trying to say. Trust for a dog is not a conclusion they reach once and keep forever. It's something they build through 1,000 small moments. The times you noticed them, the times you didn't push when they needed space, the times you stayed calm when the world felt loud, the times you were simply, consistently there. The signals in this video aren't tricks. They're not things your dog does to entertain you. They're the vocabulary of an animal who has decided, based on everything they know about you, that you are safe, that the world is a little less uncertain when you're in it, that soft lean against your leg, that yawn in a quiet room, that toy brought to you and held, not dropped, just offered. Your dog has been saying it for years. Now you know how to hear it. If this helped you see your dog a little differently, share it with someone who loves their dog the way you love yours. And if there's a quiet signal your dog does that you've always wondered about, leave it in the comments. Every dog has their own dialect.